Call First Republic at 718-380-0006 and eliminate the middleman.
In this great bank, First Republic Mortgage Bankers, that the man meant business. And, you know, we say it all the time, and he's a very modest individual. He's not an individual that necessarily need to do this anymore. He is an extremely smart businessman, so he really doesn't need to do this anymore, okay? But he wants to do this. And the reason why he wants to do it is because he sees what is going on out there. And he has always, sometimes I have to tone him down a little bit. He has always been very passionate about making sure that people don't make the wrong choices when it comes to, purchasing a home and refinancing homes. So I've seen him actually gone after the Johnny-come-latelys, okay, by letting people know the facts. Now more than ever, we are seeing where what it is that he was saying years ago and even recently is really true. People that were extremely predatorial, people that were saying things that aren't so. And so many of us did not listen to Scott Siskin because others persuaded us to go elsewhere and do otherwise when it comes to purchasing homes and refinancing homes. However, the good thing about it is that he has advocated for great programs such as the FHA program, and the program can still help hundreds of thousands of people, and it is helping people. We've also got Rajan, a loan officer, physically in our radio studios as we do what's called Rock with Squeeze, and we've got Scott Siskin on the phone lines. Gentlemen, how you doing, Scott and Rajan?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Rajan?
I'm doing great. Having a lot of phone calls here, so just busy answering a lot of phone calls and questions.
Yep. And
I've since we spoke earlier, I thought about what is it that I really thought was the most important thing I could impart upon the listeners. And Squeeze, can you guess what it is?
What is it, sir?
Rajan, can you guess what it is?
I'd like to hear what you have to say.
Credit cards.
I'm quite sure we were both thinking the same thing, right?
We were thinking it, but we wanted to hear you say it.
2 words. I think that there's a lot of confusion, and the next word is modifications. Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of confusion when it comes to modification versus refinancing and credit card debt. A lot of people are now, almost everybody who is in the mortgage business and real estate business is now, in the modification game. And, it's not going to be as easy as all that they may make it seem to be and in the news. But, one thing I do want to point out is that over 95%, and I'm not just talking about last week, I'm talking about last couple of years, several years, 95% of the refinancing we're doing that's helping people out includes consolidation of credit card debt and often also includes cash out. So, modifications can never do any of that. And it's important for people to understand the difference. And what I'm afraid of is because of everything that's in the news and people saying on the radio, well, modification is better than refinancing and so forth and so on, that maybe some people are holding back from making a very important move to reduce their monthly payments, to get rid of their credit card debt forever, and also put some cash in their pockets and ultimately actually end up with lower monthly payments.
You know what, Scott?
95%.
You know what, Scott? I don't think that anyone who is listening, listen carefully, people, that is listening to Link Up Radio is thinking that. If they're listening otherwise, which is something that you have always fought very hard to let people understand elsewhere what they need to do, but people who are listening to Link Up Radio, we have made it very, very clear here. Rajan just made it clear. I've made it very clear over and over and over, all right? Before you even think of loan modification. And by the way, don't just pick anyone to go do a loan modification with. That's another discussion for another day. But right now, the first step is to actually speak with a professional like Rajan, who is physically in the studios, before you listen to people speaking so much about modification. And another word, a buzzword that's just being thrown out there, just like subprime people threw it out there. People saying that they're the subprime guys and subprime girls and all of that, and got screwed. Well, let me just tell you all this much. If you don't understand loan modification, you will get just that. I'm sorry to say it, but it is true. You will get screwed. So the first thing you need to do, and Scott Siskin and First Republic Mortgage Bankers, they have proven themselves. Do I know of anyone in the finance business that's been here on this radio station that has proven themselves? I can't say so. But they have proven themselves by telling people in advance what's going on, just like Scott is doing right now, and people still did not listen and got burnt. What Scott is saying is, before you jump off on this whole loan modification thing, the first thing to do is to speak with Rajan. Anyone that's listening to me now, pick up the phone. Mona is in the studio. She's handling operations. She will ensure that every single person that calls in speaks with Rajan. This way you can understand more about what needs to be done to your house before you jump on what it is people are saying. It sounds good when they talk, right? Everything just sounds great. People say all the things that you want to hear. But how do you put it, Scott? You don't say things people want to hear. What do you say?
I tell people the way it is. And one thing that's very important for people to understand about modifications, that I would say that generally, not actually generally, pretty much 99% of the time, if you're not 90 days behind on your mortgage, nobody wants to talk to you about modification.
Thank you.
And that's on your primary residence also.
Thank you.
You know, that's
Thank you.
One families only. So you have to be 90 days behind, and you also don't have to have any concerns about credit card debt.
Mm-hmm.
And what we're seeing is, for the people we're helping, people have credit card debt. We know that. We keep talking about all the stats. And the bottom line is, folks, don't hesitate. Don't wait. Don't hold out to wait what's going to happen, at some point in the future. Right now it's important for you to find out what the facts are. Refinancing is the way for you to consolidate your debts.
Absolutely.
If you're only concerned with your principal balance, if you're only concerned about living in a one-family, and by the way, Squeeze, it's not just if you live in a one-family. You also must not own any other properties.
Wow.
So if you own a rental property somewhere, or Florida or whatever, you can't qualify for the standardized guidelines for in order for refinancing.
Once again, people, the number to call is 718-652-6200. That is 718-652-6200. Now, let me ask everyone something. Rajan, and I need for you to comment on this.
Okay.
Here we are, Link Up Media, First Republic Mortgage Bankers. We're giving people information for free.
Right.
All right? Now, some people listen to others. Let me just be very upfront and decide not to follow through with First Republic Mortgage Bankers just to get some free information. This way they don't make a mistake. What do you have to say to those people right this second, Rajan, before we kick into high gear on credit cards?
Well, we've always encouraged people. That's why we are on the radio, to bring knowledge and to answer those questions that many, many people have. It's a service that we offer absolutely free. If you have questions, you don't know about modifications, you don't know about the benefits of refinancing, you just have questions or you heard something, you can call us in the studio at 718-652-6200 and have those questions and concerns answered absolutely free.
Absolutely 100% free. I know a lot of people out there who is in the loan modification business do not want us to say this. But, I'd be really stupid and really be an ass if I sit back and make things happen that should not happen. All right? No. At least get the facts first. And some might be saying, but Squeeze, you're bashing the loan modification. No. Right. Let me disclaim again. No. I'm not doing that. What it is I'm saying is very simple. Before you jump into loan modification, because people articulated themselves to sound so well that it's the right thing to do, at least do some research and find out if that is the avenue for you. First Republic Mortgage Bankers they just want to give you the information for free. And then you can make your decision, as we always state here on Link Up Media. All right? So once again, make that call, 718-652-6200 right this second. Last comment on the modification, Rajan, and then we'll go back to Scott for the credit cards.
Yeah, I just want to say something real quick. You know what it is? It's always like a bandwagon, right? When it was a few years ago and subprime came out and everyone jumped on that bandwagon and said subprime is the way to go.
Everyone was a broker.
Right? Exactly. And you know what? Now that that's gone, guess what? Hey, modification appears. Let's jump on that bandwagon also. And let's run with that and tell everyone, hey, well,
First Republic Mortgage Bankers is a licensed mortgage banker, direct lender in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Florida, Delaware, Maryland, Georgia, South Carolina, headquartered at 110 Jericho Turnpike, Floral Park, New York.